Hello viewers and welcome to this new video. Today we are back in Battle of Warships and we're gonna sail in the Russian battleship Sovetsky Soyuz. I got this ship I think actually 2 weeks ago when I uploaded my last video, and I've played a little bit this ship, but let's start this video reviewing the details of the ship. The ship has 231,000 HP, like Missouri, I think, and it's not a very high HP for a battleship. I mean, high-tier battleships have much higher HP than this ship, and so that means that you can take hits, but not as other ships. It has a quite low speed, 32.2 knots, which is around the speed of Montana, and it's not very fast, but it is a battleship, so it's okay compared to all kind of ships. It has a decent maneuverability, 38 seconds, and it is quite good compared to speed. 5 interceptors, which are quite powerful too, not as other ships, but are enough. In fact, she has decent anti-aircraft guns, but not enough to compensate the big size of the ship and the low maneuverability to dodge bombs and torpedoes. It has nice secondary guns instead, with not the best range damage and reload, but they are very good anyways. And then we have the main feature of the ship, which is the main armament. I love these guns because they have extremely high damage. They are in the perfect configuration, 2 on the bow and 1 on the stern, and I really love this gun configuration. They have 10 seconds reload, which means that you have 1 less seconds on reload than other high-tier battleship like Montana, Missouri, Iowa, and all these ships. And that means that in a 1v1 engagement with your high damage and low reload time, you can win many fights. For the customization, I chose the American flag that gives more damage and less reload time. I chose the Oscar flag, the Navy Darkened Camouflage, and the German Imperial Army sticker. And that's enough with these descriptions. We are gonna see a battle that shows the ability of the Soyouz. If I use another ship in this situation, that battle could have probably gone better, but I got the Soyouz for this battle. And so, let's take this mighty Russian battleship to battle.
And here we are, today with a commented battle and not a live commentary. If you mind, write me in the comments what kind of video do you prefer, if live commentary or commented battle, or without any type of commentary. So, for this battle, I chose the Soyouz. This ship is quite vulnerable to fire by any type of fire, I mean. And so you have to take a position which is quite nice, and most importantly, with this ship you can't overextend in because of course maneuverability, speed and HP themselves. So I saw most of my teammates going to the right side, and I chose to go left side because the enemies were all going to the center it was gonna be, and so I decided to go behind an island and hope that a few enemies were coming this way and I could shoot with my bow guns them, or at least if the enemy were going all in the center, I could have my position and fire with the bow guns too in the center. I decided that my position was enough good, and I decided to stop my engine and wait until an enemy could come out. The first one was a Missouri coming on my side, and I took the shot when she was 5 kilometers away, and with the bow guns I hit her a few times with a good amount of damage. First time I played this ship, I was very surprised about the reload time of the guns, that even though it's only 1 second less on the other warships on high tier, it is very good, and you are gonna see that it changed a lot. This is not my first battle, of course, but it surprises me still. Missouri went behind an island, and I waited to her to come and show herself again. I fired again with my bow guns, as I could dodge the shell coming my way from her. She was not firing at her, and after a bad shot on her bow, I took another one and continued to fire on her, dealing some very good amount of damage on her. She was looking at me, and so I decided to show all my 3 guns and kill her as fast as possible, so she would not have been a problem anymore. I took very nice shot, also she did, but she was almost died, and our teammate managed to sink her, while I began to fire at an Iowa and a Yukikaze that were coming the same way of the Missouri. As you can see, I am already using a repair party because this ship has low HP. As you can see, also Iowa has low HP, in fact I'm damaging her quite a lot. Also she is board-sided, so my shells are going much better on her than hers on me. But she is still making some good damage on me. She went behind the island as the Yukikaze did, but on the other side, and I decided to wait for her as the same fate as the Missouri. She went on the island, and I immediately started firing on her, dealing a bad shot, but that's okay, because I already got my guns ready when the shells were almost landed, so it's not a problem to waste shells with the ship unless you are in a close quarter or in a critical situation. And about this, Iowa died, and I decided to go backwards, because on my front there was the Super Alsace and the Yukikaze. Also Yukikaze seemed to come this way, or I mean my way too, as the Yamato was doing. And I decided to wait for the Yamato and fire at her with all my board side, hoping that Yamato fired at me before that. She also was not full HP, but that wasn't a fact good, because even though she was not full HP, she has my same HP basically, so I'm gonna take so much damage if she fires at me. Yamato stopped behind the island, and I decided to go forward to engage the other ships. I realized that the other ship was a Super Alsace, but it was not a very big problem, because on that flank we were in 3 versus 1 basically, and we would have won surely. Alsace wasn't also firing very well shots. She was missing most of hers, but that's good for our team, because at least we can survive these engagements and hope for a victory. I decided to fire my guns and turn out from the engagement to avoid the shells from the Yamato, that if she was landing shells on me, I would have get damaged a lot. Unfortunately, I was going out of range for the Alsace and decided to turn in. But she turned in as well, and so she could still be in my range, and my teammates take her out. At this point, Yukikaze and Yamato was pushing on my right side, and so I decided to make a U-turn and wait for them, as I could fire both sides at them first and maybe win the engagement against two ships. Of course, I had the teammate with me, so I could have won the engagement, and I decided to stop behind the island because the other Yamato was trying to come my way too on the other side of the island. And so, waiting for her to make some turns and understanding where she's going, I decided to go right. Yamato and Yukikaze were coming my way. I saw Yukikaze first, and I decided to load HE shells. If with one shot I could sink the Yukikaze, then the engagement with the Yamato could have gone quite nice, because my reload time, I can definitely destroy her in close quarters. Unfortunately, Yukikaze didn't sink with only one broadside, and Yamato took the shot before I did on the Yukikaze, making for her one broadside in advantage. I started to angle out while keeping all the guns on the Yamato, that she was not doing, so I had the advantage of the guns instead of the HP and the damage. Yukikaze launched torpedoes. I knew it, but it was already too late. I thought that he would have launched torpedoes much more forward than me, but he did a well launch, and even though the torpedoes were splitted, one torpedo managed to reach him. I tried to avoid it, but that was no chance for me, when with my slow ship I couldn't avoid pretty much it. Meanwhile, I took out the Yamato while remaining with few HP, one broadside with the Yamato that was fighting against our destroyer would have probably killed me. Fortunately, Yamato was already engaging with the destroyer, and I survived. A floating was still going, but I had my repair party on cooldown and ready quite soon, so it was not a problem, I could easily survive. Now it was on the Yamato and the allied destroyer. Of course, Yamato can easily win the engagement against the allied destroyer, and in fact, Yamato takes him out. Fortunately, she was left with very low HP, and it was not a problem to fight her with two battleships, one, which is the Tirpitz, with almost full HP. I got the speed increase to go forward and as fast as possible kill her. She decided to go on my side, and I was a little bit surprised, but it was okay for her, because with only one broadside she could have killed me. I waited for her, and hoping that my last repair party was going in cooldown quite soon, and I could repair because one board save for the Yamato could kill me. Fortunately, she was already firing to the turret and I took her down with my first salvo and won the battle. Nice damage, nice kills and assist, and nice battle that shows how important is position with the ship.
And that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe and leave like. And see you on the next video. Bye bye.